What is going on, everybody? Depraved here. We are back with another episode of the Poundin' / Marvel Media podcast. I'm Depraved. This is Pounds.
I'm here. Is he? Look, he's like, we're never gonna do this. I'm still tripping on Florida. Still.
No, he's not.
Oh no.
All right. So we got a lot of fun news to go over today. We're going to talk about, as a list of topics, because we're covering Loki, season 1, episode 2, which is called The Variant. We're going to be covering illusions used in the show.
Yep.
A little more about Miss Minutes.
Hey.
Variants themselves. The new Loki.
Right.
And a little few things, religion and stuff used in the show.
Yep, here and there.
So I'm actually super excited for this episode. Now, we still have nobody posing questions, so we have no questions to answer. However, in a bit of sad news, I once again did not get any news from this week. So we're going to start doing news a little differently. He doesn't know this yet, but Ralph is going to be our new news correspondent.
Cool.
So that means you're going to be looking for the news.
And it's gonna be so bad. He's asking me this.
Probably.
Oh, I'm gonna milk this. I'm gonna milk it though.
I put together the episodes. He could put together the news.
Oh my god! And you know what? I'm gonna text him everything.
You don't have to text me. Just write it down. You're going to be the news guy. You'll start off the podcast talking about news, and then when we're done, we'll go into the show.
Yay! I'm
that's
the news guy.
That's going to be the thing. Ralph is the news guy.
If it's like 5 years old, break it.
No, don't bring 5-year-old news in. I will Spartan kick you out of that chair.
Just in front of everybody at work, just like, you just see me fly that way.
Oh, Lord.
This is Sparta.
So, we're going to go ahead and jump in and start talking about Loki. So, straight out the gate, it was a pretty boring episode. I'm not going to lie to you guys.
Yeah. It was okay.
It has some cool aspects to it.
Like cool moments.
But it did not live up to the hype that the first one I felt.
First one, they just, I guess because they ran out of ideas. I mean, somewhat.
Not really. It's just, this was more of a character building episode. They were building up the characters.
Literally.
Which is fine. But like, there's some, I don't know, man. I feel like we could have done with one less episode.
Yeah, because we already know about what's going on from the first episode, so it's like, well, we're moved from here now.
Right. But we'll go ahead and talk about some of it. So,
yeah.
The first thing we'll kind of go over is illusions used in the show, and this was something that I had brought to my attention from watching Screen Crush, which is a lot of what we're going to go over. Screen Crush is kind of guiding me through Loki.
Man, Screen Crush is savage.
I'm not going to lie. Screen Crush has this show on lock.
Really? I mean, it's like every day they post like 5, like, you see this? I'm like, bro, I haven't got to the first 2 ones yet. Hold on.
So, something that was brought up is this show is using illusions even in the show to kind of guide the story at places. A prime example, 1985 in Wisconsin, there's a Renaissance fair, but when you're first going into it, it looks like a legit, like they're in the Renaissance. And then it's like Okasha, Wisconsin, 1985, and it's just kind of like that shocking moment of, oh,
right, they do have
okay,
fairs. Right.
so this is just a Renaissance fair. It's kind of that illusion of something being real when it's not. And I love that they did that, especially with Loki, because that's what Loki is really good at, is illusions and self-projection and things like that.
I like how they were outplaced, too. Like, you just tell, like, they were, like futuristic, and they're like, you're supposed to be in costume. They're like, fuck off, bro.
Fuck off.
Like, we're here to find a variant. Look out. Watch out.
And then we also go on. So eventually when Loki and them get there, Loki actually tries to trick them. And I don't think he was necessarily doing it. I think it was a test
I thought
from
he
him.
wanted to get out. You didn't think he wanted to escape?
No.
Okay.
I think it was a test from him to see if he could get them to slip up.
Right, because he broke it down. He said, this is a trap. I was like, bro, this whole thing is a trap.
Because, let's be 100% honest, he could have used his magic. He could have easily gotten away from them.
Yeah, he could have. Yeah, I thought maybe he had like a collar.
No.
Okay.
He had the only thing he had on was that jacket, and he even proves later on in the episode he could still use his magic with the jacket on.
Oh yeah. We get to that. Yeah, but Yeah, I thought maybe he was gonna leave in the Renaissance Fair. I was like,
right. So I didn't think he was going to, because I feel like it was too early for him to get away.
And I love Owen Wilson on this part too.
But Loki goes through this whole dialogue and speech of the real Loki. If this is me, I would be setting you up to do this and do that.
He said, wait a minute.
He's like, so what you guys need to do is you need to let me go do this.
Right.
And I'll bring Loki back to you. And then Owen Wilson's like,
I almost believed you.
You almost had me.
You
almost had me. Go ahead and set the reset charges.
Because he was stalling for time. He was like literally stalling. Like the chick. She was like, we gotta get 2 units, 1 unit. Come on, we gotta go because we already set the time. Otherwise, we'll cause a nexus or something. But it was kind of funny. I like that whole thing. See, there had some moments in there.
It was actually really fun. But yeah, so.
Terrence Strong, by the way, is the best character this whole show. I'm just kidding. Hello.
leading a little further into the episode, we find out that the variant Loki is hiding in a natural disaster.
Which that's crazy.
And I thought this was a really cool thing for them to do.
Right.
So like, before a natural disaster, you could do anything, and it's not going to diverge the timeline. Because the natural disaster is going to wipe it out anyways.
Which that is crazy.
And for Loki to find this out just by reading through files and realizing...
It took like minutes to find him.
And it's cool that what made him realize it was he stumbled over the file of the destruction of Asgard.
Right. Bro.
And he's seen that there were no variant signs detected, and it made him think, like, maybe that's what they're hiding in.
Bro, my geek, let me tell you, I almost woke up my whole neighborhood. I was like, "Are we really about to go back to
Right.
I was so ready. I was so ready. Man.
I knew we weren't.
Bro.
For one reason and one reason only.
Okay.
The show has a budget.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it got me though. I was like, "Are we about to do this?"
I can promise you, it was probably a lot cheaper to redo the Pompeii Vesuvius eruption.
Yeah, like,
as opposed to going back to Ragnarok.
And just blurry and everything. I was like,
right.
Let's go. Is that how he escapes? Oh my god. Just in the midst of all destruction. He's gone.
So they combined. So Loki discovered that, which then led them to test this theory.
Right.
Like we were saying, in Pompeii, back when Mount Vesuvius erupted and it wiped out the entire city of Pompeii.
Right.
And this is also another time we notice something about Loki. He is not as dumb as what they think he is. And I don't mean just because of what he realized. He was speaking a dead language. The language...
that was kind of weird that he was speaking that.
The language they speak is a language that no longer exists.
Whoa.
And he was speaking it fluently and perfectly and just talking to people and being like, we're from the future, we're this, we're that.
Right. He says, this pastor... President, and he was trying to get Mobius and talk. He didn't want to be involved in this.
But they were basically testing to see if it would cause a divergent path, and it did not. And this is when Mobius realized he was right.
Right. I mean, he was throwing food and everything. He said, "You're all about to get wiped out anyway. Forget this. It doesn't matter." I'm like, wow.
And then so after the test. They go and discover that the bubble gum came from a certain time period. They cross-reference natural disasters with time periods.
Which was funny, though,
and we end up in, like...
Blue, and he said, we got apples and grapes. Is it what?
Right, and we end up in, if I remember correctly, I didn't write this down, but I'm pretty sure it's Alabama 2049.
Yeah, like a hurricane.
And it's like 3 hurricanes striking at once. 3 or 4 striking at once.
So like a place called Roxcon? I think that's the store?
Roxcart.
Roxcart.
Roxcart is the name of the superstore that they're...
Superstore. Okay, so that's a
Which,
that's a real
by
place.
the way, before they go into the superstore, you got the main chick that's like the big...
Oh, yeah!
Dude. Well, not even that, but she's taking this description so seriously. She's like, all right, we're going into this place.
She was taking it serious at the beginning of the episode.
She's like, it's a superstore. There's aisles that lead everywhere. They even sell things as far as, like, she's going into this in-depth thing, and I'm just like, it's not that deep. Like, you're going to a store.
A store. It's like Walmart, but in
calm
the future.
down, Chica.
Right,
like,
right.
Seriously.
She's like, I need 2 units, 3 units. I'm like, bro, what's happening? Like, bro, I know she's like dedicated for some milk, bro. Where's some milk, man?
Right. And so, like I said, this is where they discover, they do find what eventually is found out to become Lady Loki, or the Lady Loki variant.
Right.
That is in the place. And the show ends with her destroying Trying to destroy the main timeline to create multiple timelines.
Right, and it's the main MCU, which you said was Earth
199999.
And I was like, because I was in. I mean, we'll get to that too, but yeah, it's crazy how she set them charges up like that, man.
Right. And so that's going to lead us into. We're going to touch on a few of the other individual things that actually happened within the episode itself. And the first thing I wanted to just touch on, which we already touched on, that is honestly Miss Minutes.
Best character of the whole effing series.
Ralph's fired.
Tara Strong, please keep doing that character.
No, so the one cool thing, they have this interaction at the beginning of this episode that is so fantastic, where they kind of, him and Miss Minutes get into this conversation about whether she's real or not.
Right.
And
he's like, sort of.
He goes to start smacking her.
She's like,
with a rolled up magazine or wad of papers or something.
Right.
And something I didn't notice until I'd watched the Screen Crash episode that I did, and then I heard it again when I watched the episode earlier today to get ready for this. You actually hear her landing on things as she's jumping around.
She is landing. Whoa, that's weird.
So, in a way, she is a physical presence.
Somewhat. Yeah. In a way.
I'm wondering if she's not a version of what Loki talked about earlier in the episode with illusion. You know how he was talking about illusion projection.
Do you think she can be human?
And an actual No,
okay.
But an actual physical copies. I wonder if Miss Minutes, being a digital character, can't do that herself, create an actual physical version of herself.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how much further they go with Miss Minutes.
Right, because they want to use her.
I don't know how much more they can really use her in this story, though. Yeah. Other than being that Claptrap-esque, annoying-ass character.
That's what makes it kind of funny.
No, dude. You are in the same boat as everyone else that thinks Claptrap is a great character in Borderlands. And he is literally the reason I played 10 minutes of that game and quit.
And then said, I'm out, bro. Hello. How's it going?
Like, I don't mind characters having annoying traits about them.
But when you're just a full complete
annoyance. I do not like characters written to be annoying. Like it's lazy writing.
No.
It is.
Yeah, it is. In a way it is, but it's funny. I think it's funny. I'm sorry. Kind of childish. I know. Annoying characters that are literally meant to be annoying.
And then they kind of, another thing I want to touch on is variants themselves. Right? So we have a couple things just involving variants that I actually found super interesting. The first one was when, towards the beginning, before they go to the Renaissance Fair, they're talking about all the different variations of Loki that they've had to clip in the past.
Right.
There was one that was a frost giant Loki.
Yeah, that was
He was all blue.
Yep, all blue.
They had the one that was supposed to be like Lance Armstrong.
Right.
They had a couple of them that looked more like his mythological creature form from the ancient mythos.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Of the mythology.
They really went through a lot that they, I guess, put back together.
Right.
Right.
Well, no, these are the ones that they killed. They clipped off.
Oh,
They're
they
gone.
clipped off, gone. Okay, I thought maybe like they reset, but no, they actually killed them off. Never mind.
Right.
Wow.
So it really does, like... We'll talk a little bit more about this when we get to Lady Loki, because I do have a whole section based on just Lady Loki of things that I want to talk about. But we'll get there. But yeah, so just having all those different variants was like seeing the different versions of Loki was really cool.
No, it had good moments. Like that was interesting.
And even Loki was surprised at a lot of them. He's like, oh, okay.
Like there actually is like a frost giant to me. Like yes, like there's multiple things that they had to put, I guess, kill off, like clip out out of existence. Damn.
And then in the same meeting, I found it really interesting that lady called the Lokis cosmic mistakes. This is going to kind of play into the religion thing too.
Right, like they shouldn't have been there.
Like, this is something I don't agree with the show, and I think that's the point, is I don't see Loki as doing something outside of what he would normally do. Like, you look at the trial he was put on the trial to lose.
Right.
There was not a real trial. There were no lawyers. It was, you're guilty of being a variant. We're going to kill you.
Right. Or I guess that is killing.
Resetting is killing.
Right, and because he said, which by the way, that's like killing you off. He even said that, like resetting something.
Right.
But yeah.
So even in the first episode, like
there was no way to plead. Like,
there's no plea. It's
how do you plead? Guilty. All right.
You're guilty no matter what. Even if you plead not guilty, she just says you're guilty and they kill you.
Right. Damn. That's a Jesus Christ.
Right.
Well, TVA be on that bullshit. I'll be afraid of TVA actually.
This actually brought up my next thing. This was something again that Screen Crush had covered. What if everyone in the TVA are variants?
Yeah, we talked about that too. Like,
at some point, they're all people who have traveled outside of the timeline, but have been deemed to have been somewhat useful, so they're used, maybe even brainwashed,
WandaVision,
into doing what they do in the TVA. Yeah. And the reason why this was brought up by somebody was, towards the end of the episode, they run into the lady that was kidnapped by...
She was just...
And she's like, it's real. It's real. It's real. And it makes you wonder if she's not really tripping about realizing that everything that's going on is actually real. It's not like, maybe when they're going through their lives, it feels kind of like a dream to them. Right. And then it's like, oh no, this shit actually does happen. So what if they are being brainwashed in every single...
Saying, like, even the guy said call TVA, she said, don't call TVA. Like, it was almost like, whoa, like don't trust them either. It's like, oh, I mean, well... Go back to what you said before, like, well, don't trust this company also, because it's the whole, what's going on with the situation, too.
Right.
So it's kind of interesting.
So, yeah, I'm wondering if, like I said, everyone's... Because, again, in the comics, there's actually there's a team of variants that the TVA put together, where there's, like, a vampire or zombie Wolverine, and then a couple other characters that go around and do TVA work for the TVA in order to not be erased. Or reset, as they call it.
Yeah. As I said, this, even though, like I said, this episode was not as entertaining, it still got me a little bit of wondering. I'm like, bro, because it's like, because I said this to myself, like, what if they got groups of agents that literally do other things just to not get erased?
Think of it like this, Mobius.
Right. Well, he's about to ski, about the ski thing. What if
no, not that. Okay. So Mobius was talking to, and actually I can bring that up after this. But when Mobius was talking to what's her face, Vera?
Ravana. Yeah.
Ravana.
I was gonna say Krang's wife.
Right, but when he's talking to Ravana and he sees that pin and he's like, "Oh, this must be some of your other or your one of your other people." What if? Because in the comics, Mobius is a clone.
Wow. Yeah.
What if there's other Mobius characters running around doing what he's doing? But for different reasons.
Because I think he was talking to Ravana, talking about like, well, when are you going to bring me to do what you do? He said, I think he said she had a group already in place. And I said, okay, so how much shit do we got in?
Right, it's probably more Mobiuses, honestly.
Like,
I don't know if I can handle 3 when Wilson's on screen at once, but...
Like some life model decoys out this shit. Which that's crazy there, too, but that's not the point.
But then it even plays into that whole, the skiing thing. This is something him and I talked about.
Right.
He has... So Owen Wilson's character, Mobius, seems to have this deep passion for skiing.
Loves it to death.
Loves it to death, almost like he's had to have experienced it at some point in his life.
Even Loki said, have you ever tried to experience it? He said, no, a TVA suit won't work. I'm like, oh, damn.
Like, what if he was somehow deviated outside of where he should have been back when it was in the 80s?
Right. Yeah.
And he's plucked out of that time and all of a sudden brainwashed and forced to be in the TVA.
Wow.
And so he has this like almost backlog of memories that he doesn't know are actually memories.
Right, yeah. He's just saying like, oh, I like.
He just has this passion for what this is. He has no reason why. He doesn't understand why.
Where's Vision? Vision can. Now let me stop. Like, let me go. I need to go.
So I mean, it definitely brings up thoughts of like.
And that sounds scary. What you just said, like what, like you said. I thought maybe like they brainwashed. No, it seems like they. I mean, they brainwashed, but it's like they. Like, oh, we're going to take you out of this little thing, and now you just work for us now. That's it. There's no way around it.
So then that's where this is going. We're going to lead into our next thing.
Right.
The idea of religion being a backdrop of this series.
Right.
So if you look at WandaVision, it was kind of almost, there was a backdrop of story of how TV shows can almost give you a false reality feeling.
Right.
Then you've got Falcon and Winter Soldier that had the background conversation of racism in America.
Right.
And now we've got this show that's almost dealing with like religion and following it blindly. Because like even Loki and Mobius get in this conversation where Mobius is very much like, oh no, I believe 100% in what they do because I'm here. This is what I do.
Loki even said it's like a cult, man. He's like, that's like a cult-like type thing. Like you don't question. No, I don't question before. I'm here now. Like. So you're not going to question Mobius? Like, why are you here? Like, you know, just nope.
And I think that's what the Loki character is. Remember, he's the loop of always failing, but causing others around him to change.
Right.
And I feel like he's being used to change Mobius's thought process.
Well, like, I mean, like, well, yeah, like last week you said one of your predictions, you said like, that he might just leave the leave the TV. I think you said that, like, he might just, like, leave the TVA just with, like, Loki and just bounce. But, yeah, it's holy shit!
And
the whole so much, bro.
and that whole religion thing plays into some of the other conversations we've already had. Prime example is like again the TVA and the variants, like brainwashing people into believing what they're doing is right.
Right. Or even like the trial. That's like you ain't going like that's some kind of cult like shit there too because you're not even like going to even try to like plead bump it done cut them off.
Or the cosmic mistakes. You're not doing what you're supposed to do, so you're a mistake.
Right, you're not staying in the flow. You're supposed to stay with you're supposed to be, I guess, entwined or brain into your path. But now you're like, I'm going this way now. No.
And I love that Loki even looked at him. He was like, "What if you and me here are the only people that have free will?" Because that's one of the things, according to the timeline, nobody really has free will. They're doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing.
Right.
Which is why I think he did what he did at the end of the show, which we'll get into when we get to that point. That was his proof that there is free will. You can do what you want to do. But I as long as they don't just dive too deep into it, I'll be 100% cool.
This would be crazy if they, bro.
But I don't know. We'll see.
They just start diving, bro. Because that next episode, what if they do it, bro? It's like we're just gonna jump off deep and like, oh my god.
So then the last actual full segment that I want to talk about is everything involving Lady Loki.
Right.
Or Randy Loki, as Screen Crush likes to call her.
He said, call me Randy.
Call me Randy.
Yeah, I'm like, okay.
First off,
that chick failed.
First off, we knew
Yeah.
that it was going to be a Lady Loki. I told Ralph that at the end of the first episode. I was like, this is going to be Lady Loki. One, you could tell definitely by her body shape.
Right, the body shape.
It's a very feminine physique, movement. Even in the cloak.
Right.
But at the same time, like, this is where having access to the internet and so much information is a terrible thing.
Yeah.
Like, we know who all's been hired to be in this show and what the speculations of the characters they were going to play was. There's no way that somebody could have thought it was anyone else than that DeMarco chick or whatever her actual name is. I don't remember what her actual name is.
Right. Because she was off of The Walking Dead.
I don't remember what she was on.
Okay, because she looks familiar from like something that I've seen before, but yeah.
Right, but I knew that's who it had to be her, in my opinion. Like it's the only character that hasn't been listed that makes sense.
Right. That reveal was awesome though. Like
it was. She was like,
cloak reveal.
This isn't about
camera.
You.
Right, it was never about you.
Not about you because Loki thinks it is.
Right, well, because at first he was like saying, "You should come join me," and she said in 72 seconds, "I don't care." Like, okay, dang.
So this is something that I've read online.
Yeah.
Screen Crash touched on. We talked a little bit on. Do you think this is Lady Loki, or do you think it's Enchantress?
God damn it! Put on this damn camera. At first, I was thinking Enchantress, but what if this is I think it's Lady Loki. What if it's a younger version of Lady Loki? Because it could be a younger version of that.
I was actually beginning to think about it.
Because of the Young Avengers. Because I just there's two. One young Lady Loki part, or another alteration of Lady Loki, I guess, was part of the Young Avengers at one point.
That I don't remember.
Okay.
But what I do know is the one thing about the MCU is they're only using everything else as source material. They don't follow all the stories exactly to a T.
Right. They just,
because it's its own Earth.
But it works.
It's Earth 1999999.
Thank you for looking it up because I know what
199999.
Because I know what this
it's not.
was.
It's not Earth 616. It's not the main universe.
It's not the main universe. This is like, this is the MCU. This is it.
So what if it's Lady Loki and Enchantress? What if
at the same time
she is a variant of Loki, which she is 100%? I don't believe she's not. Right. I believe she is a variant of Loki.
Right.
But she doesn't want to go by Loki, and she has a different set of powers because they explained earlier in the show all the different Lokis have different sets of powers.
So she don't want to go by that.
What if hers are more of the enchanting, taking over people's minds,
right,
and getting them to do her will and things like that, which Enchantress is known to do?
Right.
Because she even says she doesn't want to be called Loki.
Right, she doesn't want to be called that. Like, it's like she despised that name. Bro.
Right. So I could see her being like, call me Enchantress. And so
I can see that.
I think she's both of them. I really do. I think she is just... I think they're going to make the Lady Loki variant and Enchantress the same character in this.
Which, like you said, we haven't seen Enchantress at all. Like, I mean, like in the MCU. Like,
right.
That would be interesting to go that route. And now you get 2 for price of 1. That'd be interesting.
Right.
Yeah. Well, because I asked you, I said, like, and you said it depends on which variant Loki. Like, I didn't know which Loki had the power of, like, green, like, power
because, like, even for me, I want it to be Enchantress. I don't want a bunch of different Lokis running around the timeline. I want more characters.
Yeah, I want more characters in the story, or in the MCU in general.
So I want Enchantress, but I could definitely see them using them as one and the same.
Right.
And just Enchantress being a Loki variant herself.
It's just interesting because, like, in WandaVision, we get Monica Rambeau, and then in Falcon Winter Soldier, we damn near get the U.S. agent. Now we get Enchantress. Yeah, every time they make something, it's like, we're going to throw some new characters in here. Like, literally throw some new characters in here. Like, I like that. I think the MCU gets they're smart. They're smart. I'm like, you just threw new characters in here, but you're giving them stuff to do. And if that is Enchantress, bro, that's a third character you brought in here, man.
So then, Lady Loki.
Right.
She bombs.
Literally.
The shit out of the actual sacred timeline.
Bro, 1 minute, and it's so funny. 1 minute, this dude's drinking coffee, and then he went...
Like, you see the line that's supposed to be the sacred line, and you see all these branches start going at once.
Right, this is the hard MCU that we've been watching for the past 20 years right now, man.
So, like, if you guys... I mean, I hope you've seen the show if you're listening to this podcast or watching this podcast, but, like... So they have this huge monologue where Lady Loki is in this big country boy hostile guy and just beating the hell out of Loki.
Dude.
Kicking his ass, but monologuing while he's doing it. But at the same time, she's setting the charges herself.
Right.
So she's going through...
She's turning them on and everything.
So she's setting up some sort of big event, and then eventually the timer hits 0.
Ain't that a bitch?
And all of a sudden, those things all go off like they're going to be set right there, but then they all fall through portals.
Bro, that freaked the fuck out of me, bro. I was like, whoa. I thought it was going to be set right there. No, it was whoop. I was like, okay. What type of magic is this? Even
Loki thought that she had brought them there to kill him.
Bro, this too many plans, bro.
And honestly, if you want me to be honest, and this is kind of going into predictions.
Yeah, this is...
little bit.
Just a little bit.
I think she's doing this to get everyone in the TVA out, because she knows how to get to the TVA now.
Yeah, shit.
So I think she's trying to get everyone out so she can go in and do whatever it is that she's trying to do while she's there.
Which we still... I mean, we kind of have for predictions, but ultimately we don't know what she's doing. I mean, we do have a clue about it, but...
Right. So I do. I think... Because Loki even mentions he wants to take over the TVA. He wants to rule the TVA.
And then she's like, I don't care.
And she's like, I don't care about that.
Literally, I just don't give a fuck, bro. Like,
I think she's going there to kill Ravonna.
Dude, if she... Bro, that would bring... Bro, if she succeeds... Dude, we will...
I think...
At the end, we just see Kang like, mother... He just loses.
What if she wants to kill Ravonna? Because if you remember...
Oh, man.
In the animated show we've been watching, Ravonna's close to death, and he's trying to prevent that from happening. What if we're getting a different style of that story here?
We did see Ravonna suit up like as soon as shit got real. She starts, okay, you're coming.
She grabs her staff and she bounces.
And she looks at it and she just take a deep breath and then boom, dashes out the door. Like, oh, this is crazy.
But here's the thing: if she knows she's with Kang, which means because they're married, at least they are traditionally in the comics.
Right.
But she's the only person that talks to the timekeepers.
Well, ultimately she's the only.
What if this is also a part of the timeline and she knows she's about to die?
That's what I said, bro.
There's a lot of shit that could happen here.
Dude, this. We're not even talking about the charge where they got charged at, bro. We still. Ravonna is. Bro, because what if she succeed? Just stab. Boom. That's it. And then Kang just comes, like, literally at the end of this season and just gets furious and just. Or, like, maybe from up in space, right? And just dashes down to Earth.
Right. Where did my other page go? There was one page somewhere in my list of things I was doing here. Did you fall? That's not it. I don't necessarily need it. It was really just talking about the last little thing. So at the very end of the episode, Lady Loki opens a portal, and she steps through.
She didn't close it.
And Loki stands there looking at the portal for a second as everyone comes up to try and stop him.
He's like, no,
because they think he's going rogue.
Right.
And
I still think he wants to stop this Loki variant in a way.
Well, he looks at them, and he doesn't look at them with hate or angst or like, no, I got to get away before they catch me.
No, he looks like, I got this.
He has this look on his eyes like, I'm going to go stop what's going on.
Right, I got this.
And then he runs to the portal, and the portal closes. And I feel like they did this as a way to set Loki up to look like he's betraying them, and I don't think he is.
Yeah, I don't think he's doing that. Or he wants answers.
I think it's a combination of him wanting to stop her, but also wanting answers as to what is really going on.
Right.
But here's the thing. I think they're going back to the TVA. I'm pretty sure that's where Lady Loki's at.
Well, because in the trailer we saw some scenes where they were fighting in the TVA.
Well, there's that, and if you remember, there's a scene that we keep seeing, that we saw in the original trailers, where Loki's walking through the TVA with his knives out.
Yeah, he finally got it. Well, yeah, he gonna get his knives.
Which are where his knives are at. His knives are in the TVA. I think they're going to show back up at the TVA. He's going to start looking forward through the hallways, and they'll get into their big fight that we've seen.
That fight's gonna be interesting.
The scenes from.
This is gonna be interesting because.
But yeah, I don't think I just.
Because people might think, oh, he betrayed him.
Like, I feel like Loki has been through enough to realize this is bigger than him.
Yeah. He having a Captain America moment.
Right.
He's having a Captain America moment.
That's not even a Captain America moment.
That's a hero moment.
He's having a U.S. agent moment.
Right.
He's like, should I do what I want to do or do what I should do?
Because he could have just sat there and just like waited. But
well, it was like there's that one part when they first got into Rock's cart where he's all wet,
right?
And he uses his magic just to be all dry. And she goes, "What the hell was that?"
I'm trying.
And he's like, "That was magic.
That's magic.
I'm dry now.
I'm dry now."
And she's like, "Why would you?" And he's like, "It's so I don't squeak when I walk like the rest of you."
Right? Really? Because that's smart. Because
he's trying to like. Not. But see, and that's a prime example, and that's the moment I think I even started to think about if he's not in the TVA, he has access to his powers.
Right.
Like, if he's wanted to run away, he's now had multiple chances.
Right. Pompeii.
Wisconsin, Pompeii, Alabama.
Yeah.
And instead, he's trying to do what he feels is the right thing to do.
And I think that's what more. I think one of characters gonna try to defend it, like.
And that was the thing that was written on the other page, that's not written here. That I still don't know where the other page went. Going back to the whole Lady Loki thing. Oh, there it is.
Because he's gonna try to defend the next episode. He's like, you let the very Loki go.
There was a choice in the beginning of the episode that was made that was actually very interesting. It was very interesting. And that's when Lady Loki is fighting with, or using the TVA person to fight the other TVA people, while the song "I Need a Hero" is playing.
Yeah, that was interesting.
And I think they're doing that as almost a hint that she is the hero of this story.
God, I hope so.
Because I really do think the TVA are technically the bad guys in this story. And I don't necessarily think it's necessarily the TVA themselves.
It's really timekeepers.
I think it's the timekeepers,
right?
Which in turn makes the TVA a bad group.
Nobody's never seen them. Well, I mean, not besides Ravonna, but Morbius has never seen them. Like nobody, like I guess the underlings besides Ravonna has never seen. They're like, can I see the TV? They're like, no.
And if you're curious, as to what we're talking about, go check out the podcast episode from last week.
Right.
We went in I went full in depth into.
I was like, yo, this is great. Yeah, I got serious for this.
I legit think Lady Loki is trying to prevent something big.
Right. Like Earth changing big. Like Jesus Christ. I mean, yeah.
But dude, this okay. So over and above all, I give this episode a 7.
Yeah, I give it an 8. I mean, it was still cool. The losers were there.
It's enough to have kept my interest. Right. I enjoyed it. I still feel like there are bits and pieces where it just kind of dragged in ways that
like sitting in that thing, just like paper, doing the paper montage, aren't we? Can I get this? Can I get this? I'm like, why are you talking to the librarian lady?
Now, some things that are cool, which again I learned from Screen Crush because I would not have noticed this. I don't have a photographic memory.
Right.
There are things in the credits of the second episode that changed from the first episode.
Oh shit! Damn.
Little changes.
Okay.
A prime example, there's a part in the first episode where you see an almost scattering of folders with pictures on them.
Right.
And they're different pictures of like Loki. But in the
other one had Lady Loki.
Well, no, in this one they changed the kind of pictures of Loki on a couple of them, where one of them was Loki actually wearing the TVA jacket.
TVA jacket, okay.
Among other things.
Right.
So little bits and changes are happening in the credits.
Well, they did that in the credits of WandaVision, and they did that in the credits of Falcon Winter Soldier. They were literally like small little snippets here and there.
Like they're doing everything in their power to give people clues.
That a bitch they are, too.
All you got to do is think about them.
They probably want to really lead you into that next episode. Actually, ain't that a?
But yeah, I give it a 7 out of 10. It's one of those things where like I feel like they could have done more.
Right. Well, you said like the last.
Or even they honestly could have taken out half this episode.
Right.
And combined it with a couple other episodes and just.
I want to see, bro. When I saw them charges, bro, Screen Crush, they nailed it because I was like. Did that say Ego and all of them? I said, oh, you are really trying to really change the timeline for real, woman.
Yeah, definitely check out Screen Crush, guys. If you're not, he went through and detailed every single place that a canister went. And
it blew my mind because one was like the time they exiled the Jews and the signing of America, but then ones were like Thor Ragnarok again, but it was like a Sakaar at the beginning of the movie or midway through the movie, and then one was Ego. And I said, okay, so. Oh, Jesus Christ, lady. Like, how are you doing this? I need answers, woman. Next week I need some answers, because what the hell, lady?
Here's something else to think about.
Mm-hmm.
Here's something else to think about. Earth 1999999 or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
Is getting ready to have a big celestial event happen in the Eternals.
Right. Because Eternals is supposed to, yeah. Right.
Now, I don't think they're going to go this far. But what if...
We're doing a lot of what ifs in here, and what if that didn't came out yet?
What if she's trying to branch out as many universes as possible to try and amass an army to fight off these Eternals that are going to want to come and eliminate humanity?
That's what I'm saying. What if the Eternals are evil, bro? Like, what?
No. The Eternals themselves won't be.
Oh, okay.
It's the people that made them. The Celestials. That's what I keep trying to think of. Celestials.
Oh, shit. Damn. Whoa. So you're saying these... Okay. Wow. What? Dude.
I'm just saying, just throwing shit out there.
Oh,
hoping one of these predictions works so I can be like, aha! That one's right. The other 12
My
aren't.
whole paycheck is going literally into Doctor Strange. Because you know, it's like, they said it's supposed to end on Doctor Strange. I'm like, I don't think it's going to end on Doctor Strange. I think it's just going to just go.
It's not supposed to end on Doctor Strange.
I thought, well, some people were suggesting that they think that
Ant-Man 3 or Ant-Man and the Wasp 2 or whatever you want to call it takes place after Doctor Strange.
Yes, it does. Never mind.
And it's still dealing with time travel.
Still time traveling, yeah.
No, this whole multiverse thing ain't going away for a while. Yeah. I'm pretty sure this is going to be like a 2-year process of just insanity.
Bringing everybody in here from Fantastic Four to X-Men. They be like, how did I get here? Bro, because you was in a universe. Now you've been jumped into another universe. Welcome.
Now, one of the things I wish they would have done that did not happen this episode... Mm-hmm. Remember in the last podcast we talked about, I hope we get at least one per episode of him being somebody from the past.
I mean, well, he was Louis Armstrong, but you want to actually...
I want to see him actually doing it. I don't
doing
want
it.
just a reference.
Reference. You want to actually see it. Yeah.
So we didn't get that.
That would have got like an 8 or a 9 for you. You at least something.
Nah.
Yeah.
Oh man, there was something else I was gonna cover that I thought was pretty interesting.
Oh no, they'll come back to you.
Nah.
No. Probably get off camera and be like, ha ha! Like, oh shit, there it was.
If it wasn't, if I didn't think of it now, it wasn't that important.
Right.
Fun things to look forward to, guys. So next week we will be covering again episode 3 of Loki.
Mm-hmm.
If you're following me on Twitter, I have face swapped myself with Loki himself, and I think I make a very damn good Loki. You just got to go on the like if you follow on Twitter, it's on Twitter. It's on my Instagram as well.
Face swap. That is interesting.
Yeah, I refaced my face onto a bunch of Loki faces, and it turned out to be absolutely fantastic.
You used the one from Thor. Oh yeah, I saw the one Thor Ragnarok. I saw that one with the gun thing. That was tight.
It was a combination of different scenes from it.
Okay. But yeah, that was pretty cool with the hair and everything. Well, we got the hair, so it just
Right.
fit perfectly.
It fit. Look good. And then, yeah, that's all I have actually going on.
I'm gonna go find some news.
Yeah, so
tomorrow.
it's Ralph's job to make sure you guys have news next week.
Oh God! If I don't find you got news? Nope. All right. Well, Ralph failed. He failed. He didn't get no news. So there you go. Moving on. I tried.
It's just I got a lot going on.
And I know you got a lot with what's going on in the situation. So.
I'm giving some of the responsibility to my co-worker here, and my partner in crime.
TikTok a lot.
Oh, stop.
I mean, we're going bro. I'm gonna find my news on TikTok.
Okay, so we're canceling news.
Just like
Canceling
you see
news.
This, be like, you know what? Just for that, there is no more news segment. This man found it on TikTok. We're done. Nah, fam, we're not doing this.
Done.
Like look at this. Look at it. He said something about Marvel in there. Like, bruh, no. Wait, what? We're gonna reenact that.
Right. But yeah, so I guess that's gonna do it for this podcast, guys. They're all gonna start being this short.
Right.
I actually like this setup a little more. It's not just going over everything step by step in the episode. It's talking about things in the episode, how it makes it feel.
And whatnot. Yeah.
We'll still give our predictions, and like I said, I gave a 7. He gave an 8.
Yep.
And we'll hopefully next week's will be fantastic.
So far. I just don't
solid.
Hope it don't go crazy. It might just go.
No, I'd be cool with it going crazy.
Oh
That's not
God.
a thing.
Just go into like.
I just I don't want it to overly dive into the religious aspect of it.
Right.
That's my only thing. I don't care if it's there. Like, you want it to be like a parallel story, kind of like with the racism in America thing. Right. I'm cool with that. But I don't want it to turn into the story.
I like how we both have different things, but for same thing, different things. So that's what's up.
Right. But yeah, so let's go ahead and end this here, everybody. Yeah. Thank y'all for watching. We love y'all. Thank y'all for watching. I already said that. I'm tired. Sorry.
I'm not. I'm like fully awake.
We'll see y'all fantastic people next week. Be here, Loki, episode 3.
Be here, be square.
It's coming.
It's morphin' time.
It's coming.
I said that on camera.
All right.
Nick's like, what?
Take care, everybody. Excelsior.
Morphin' time.